Welcome to Who Put This On, Season 3, Episode 5, where we watch I Survived, a Japanese game show. Season 1, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz, and...
This is James.
Maxi Day.
I'm Harrison Hoffman.
Hi! Machide!
That's pretty good.
All right,
man.
Harrison, give us the description on this one, buddy.
American contestants with larger-than-life personalities compete in a wacky, over-the-top Japanese-themed game show. Host Rome Kanda, Denmother Mama-san, and the poker-faced Judge Bob referee the hilarity as the contestants compete for the big cash prize.
Thanks, Harrison. I will give what the show is.
Please tell me.
The show is a competition reality show between two different teams where contestants just do crazy game show, a different one each week, and the losing team has to put two people up for elimination, and somebody gets eliminated, and somebody wins $250,000 at the end of it. It's kind of like a generic formula, I think, at this point. I'm not sure how generic it was in 2008.
Is it reasonable to say that it is the challenge if the challenges were crazy Japanese game shows?
That would be a hell of a
I think an important point is that the teams are consistent.
Teams are consistent.
Between each week.
Two teams.
So, like, it's...
a champs versus pros situation.
Some kind of chance versus pros.
Some sort of challenge off-season, but yes.
Okay.
Damn it! It really is.
It really is.
Just the challenge, but we're just gonna make a game. The whole thing is a game
is
show.
that they added the winners get like this great prize, and the losers have to do like work
For sure.
So that's almost the mole like. The winner gets like a nice little prize, like they get to go to a nice fancy hotel and get a massage.
Yeah, it's similar to like I think it comes off from like Survivor, like you'd win and you get like sometimes you'd get something good.
Okay.
But the loser
that formula is also used a lot.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Bachelor,
But, sir,
Bachelorette, like all whatever.
This is
I can't think of another
extremely
example.
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, there's like the
this
winner
is-
gets something.
This is in 2008.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at like the histogram of reality shows, it's pretty early.
Dude,
Not
no.
like-
2008 is real deep in reality show.
Is it?
Yes. Like right now we are like witnessing the rising bones of reality in 2018. I'm saying 2008, that's like right in the midst of it. They should have known better. It's what everybody's doing. They don't care. They don't need to mess with the whole reality formula. They are just doing like, hey, we're a Japanese game show. Ha.
What's first season of Survivor? Is that like 99, 2000? Like what, 98?
Possibly 98.
Somewhere in there?
I don't think it's that early.
Dude, I think it might be.
I think I'm kind of with Max on this. 98 feels right.
I think somewhere in that
we
98,
talked about it with the
99.
mall.
We don't have Noah here for his internet corner. Miss you,
don't.
Noah. So yeah, we'll never know.
We'll never know. The internet.
The
will
internet
have to tell us
corner.
that.
We'll never know.
The internet corner. Can
I'm
wait.
looking it up.
I'm
I'm
so congested, you guys. Can you hear that?
It can.
Congested.
You can? Yeah,
A little
I'm
bit.
Congested.
1997.
97.
Good call, Max. It was pretty close.
2008.
We've got 11 years of reality TV show innovation on top of Survivor.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, sorry, 2000.
Okay.
Shut
Whoa.
up, Chris.
Sorry, I saw 1997.
years.
Then it formatted.
So you're
the whole
telling me
thing.
the millennium happens, and you're like, you know what we need that we survived this? The birth of reality TV.
Oh, so the original Expedition Robinson was 1997.
What the fuck is Expedition Robinson? Okay.
Yeah, what are we doing? You sucked us into the internet black hole.
Japanese
All right,
reality
all right.
survival, the game show.
All right, let me go through what happens
Doing
in
the
this
overview?
show. So these guys show up at the airport in LA and they'll get on a bus and then they're taken to another terminal at the airport and they go to Japan. Everyone minutia later
fact, they don't know that they're going to be on a game
yeah.
show. Like they don't know what
they don't know what the show is,
Key fact.
presumably.
Right.
And so they go to Japan, they like show them getting out of the bus and like the popular what's
Shibuya Crossing.
Shibuya Crossing.
Yeah.
And then they like go to this Japanese studio, Toho Studios, which is pretty famous Toho Studios. Then they get put into teams and they have to do this crazy Japanese show. where they have to like run on a really long treadmill with like these crazy hats on their head with mochi balls in them, and there's some guy on a platform. One of the contestants is on the platform and has to eat the mochi balls out of the hat.
Bobbing for mochi.
Bobbing for mochi, as one would say.
With their friend Bob.
Your contestant had ate or got the mochi ball, you had to fall and like you fell into like some flower pit from the treadmill. The winning team got to go. The green team was the winning team. Got to fly over in a helicopter, see Tokyo. The losing team had to pull some rickshaws. It looks like they didn't have to pull them very far.
For 4 blocks. 4 literally ancient blocks.
And then they had to put 2 people up for elimination. And the elimination round was they had to run and jump on a treadmill and put like a token in some sort of target.
Trampoline.
It was called Bug Splat on Windshield.
As they were dressed as bugs. And it was actually really close.
It went to a tiebreaker.
And the Darcy got eliminated, whatever.
We haven't teed it up, but
who
sure.
knows?
Somebody gets eliminated.
Somebody gets eliminated, and that's the show.
That's the show.
I'll miss Darcy. She really brought so much to this show.
I guess another key point that I didn't bring up, I guess we'll get into the minutia, but the Mama-san thing was pretty when they show up in the house, there's just like crazy I don't even know how to describe it.
It's sort of a
sounded like a housekeeper, like
basically just like imagine like a really strict. You ever watch you watch Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
You know how Chi-Chi is to Gohan? You know, she's very strict. She's like, take care of your shit. This is what Mama sounds like.
Yeah, she's basically just like the house mom, and she's going to make sure that all the shit's in order and you're doing what you need to do. Like when they're like leaving for challenges, she's the one who's trying to hurry people out of the bathroom and whatever. It's like, hey, they're waiting for you by the van. Get out there.
Yeah, and made the contestants take their shoes off.
Yeah. She's going to make sure that her rules of the house are obeyed, I guess.
So, I want to start at the beginning of this episode.
Okay.
With the contestants and them showing up and not knowing they're going to be on the show.
They know they need to bring passports.
Which isn't unreasonable, though, for these
Sure,
kinds of shows,
sure.
right?
Like
you
if you're
on
if you-
100 different shows,
like if you're on Survivor.
Amazing Race, or what Survivor, you gotta have
Right?
a passport. Yeah.
Like, what do you... I mean, we talked about this a little bit with all these other MTV shows in the Jersey Shore where they didn't know. So, like, I think it can be pretty easy to make it so that, like, these people had no idea what kind of show they were going to be on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Just, hey, you've been selected for this show. Let us know by such and such date if you want to join us. Book a flight to L.A. and arrive at this time.
I'm sure that they paid them for the flight to L.A.
Could have been. Yeah, I mean, actually, like, the show producers probably just booked the flight for them. They're like, all right, give us your info. We'll book you a flight. You're going to be in L.A. at this time.
Yeah. So then, I guess, did we go over some of the contestants?
We got to talk about... well, like, so they pick them up with this, like, party bus.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, you're on the show. Everyone's, like, dancing around, real excited. And it was like, all right, first stop, back to the airport. They literally, like, I don't even think they took a lap. They just went, like, 500 feet down LAX.
Yeah, it was literally like the party van was sitting out in front of the, like, arrivals terminal. It, like, says arrivals, and it's like, okay. And it's like, and they just go up like 500 feet. It's like right to the departures terminal. It's like, all right, we got to our destination. Get off the bus. We're going to Japan.
Right.
They're so excited, too.
Which is interesting. Like, if this was just over in the end of it, I probably wouldn't have brought it up. But this is like a reoccurring theme of the show.
Well, they did it immediately after that. They were in a
Right.
bus, and they got off in Japan.
Most of the show is them getting on a bus and then getting off the bus.
There's a lot of focus on how they're getting to and from places for some reason that I'm not clear on.
You gotta be able to see they're in Japan. If you can't see where they're going, then you don't know they're in Japan.
Here's what I think kind of happened with this show. Like, it seemed like somebody saw a bunch of Japanese game shows and they're like, man, like it'd be great to just make one of these Japanese game shows, like, and just have it be crazy. But like, we need some kind of a reason to do it, like something like to wrap it in. So like, they decided to basically wrap it in this reality show. So they have like some light elements of them like not on the game show, but it's mostly a show that's just. It's
Yeah.
mostly just a Japanese game show.
You're mostly here to watch the crazy Japanese game
yeah,
show.
because
Yeah, but also it's like the fact that like there's just Americans that don't know what the fuck is going on and they're in Japan.
that's.
and,
I mean,
trying
so
to deal with being
It's
on
kind of
this game
fun,
show.
but it's only going to last one episode.
also
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think like if the show was just like here's a Japanese game show and it's a bunch of Japanese, but like that's a very different show from what we just watched.
That's MXC.
I kind of agree with you, but like I think I would have liked to have seen them spend more time on the like Americans exposed to Japanese culture and like stuff like that, because there weren't really a lot of examples of that in the episode.
That's just not
Alright.
what the show is. As for the
I
Japanese
can
game
answer
show.
this question. So,
No, that's what I mean, right?
So I watched the show when I was airing, which is why I remember the show. I don't really remember too much about it. Watch that, please. that TV.
The new TV can't go tumbling.
Yeah, please. So they do get more into that, I think, with the challenges and punishments are kind of like, here's Japan. This episode is a little weak, I think, on that front. Like, I'll go through some of the punishments. The next punishment is working at a pachinko parlor.
Oh,
that's-
my god!
That's a hell of a punishment.
I might have to watch.
That's
the episode
so
just for that.
good.
The next punishment after that is rice farming.
Oh, okay.
Then there's
Brutal.
shucking clams.
Oh boy.
And there's
I'm
like
always afraid I'm just gonna like cut a hand off or something.
there's making mochi, and I guess the last one is an overnight stay at Capsule Hotel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God! All right, we're gonna get in this, but Harrison, when we're on this trip in Japan, is like, yo, maybe we should stay at one of these capsule hotels just for fun.
Yeah. So we were in Japan.
Which is
like
the
a couple
reason
weeks
why
within the last month.
Yeah.
this is the reason why we're watching the show, essentially.
And I'd heard that these capsule hotels are kind of cool.
I don't know, some of those Airbnbs were already pretty tight, and people were getting a little like, after 2-3 nights in the same like small Airbnb, we were like,
But you're
I don't know,
all
this
in
Airbnb
your
is
own
really
Yeah.
small.
capsule. Like, you're not in. You wouldn't interfere with each other.
Exactly.
I don't like. I just imagine like it's just a wall of 20 capsules, and I got to deal with 20 people's bullshit instead of 2 other people.
I mean, your friend Chris, definitely a lot to handle, I think, sometimes.
Love you, Chris.
Yeah, fun guy. It was a great time.
So
Good trip.
some of the rewards are pretty like unique to Japan as well. So like,
Hmm.
there's like a spa treatment and including a fish pedicure.
Yep.
Or, like the sucker fish kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I wanted to do that when we were there, but we didn't see one that
Yeah.
was easily accessible.
I did that in Thailand. It was
Oh,
really
yeah.
sketchy and kind of fun.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
seems neat.
Yeah, I saw it everywhere in Thailand, but not too much in Japan, really.
Yeah.
a tour of Tsukiji Fish Market,
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, that's real good.
That's great.
a private soba noodle making lesson,
oh, that seems
Ooh.
awesome.
a visit to Shinto shrine,
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
and while the people that stayed at the Capsule Hotel, they got to stay at the Tokyo Grand Hyatt.
Oh, that's a real
nice.
difference.
I
Kind of
remember
situation.
that being like amazing, like one of the best hotel rooms I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I think from like just quickly research. Like I think I looked at like a few high-end hotels in Tokyo when I was looking. I'm like, these are very expensive. A, and B, they're very baller. Like at some point it'd be fun to do. I feel like, but like it's a lot of. It seemed like a lot of money. And yeah, kind of spent money on other parts of the trip. But yeah, there's some of those hotels look crazy though. Like
All right.
awesome.
So let's roll back a little bit here.
Rolling the tape.
So some of the characters on the show are the like Darnell, I think was a standout.
Donnell.
Donnell.
Just like Donald L.
He was super excited when he found he was going to Japan, and like he was super excited when they're on that game show. He's super excited, and then when he wins the game, when he thinks he's winning the game show, I think is when he's the most excited.
He's been at a 10 for the entire trip. He's just been up the whole time.
yeah.
Like, it's insane.
This guy reminds me a lot, like from a personality and just like the way he carries himself, of like a Roman Pierce kind of situation. Just like got like that flashy, he's
I can
real
see that.
excited,
I
really
can
like
see
big
that.
smile.
I feel like he wants to be like that.
yeah. I feel like that's his idol. Like he's trying to put that vibe. out.
Right. Yeah.
He reminds me of like a much dumber James. James always excited.
Me? This James? I'm like, wait. I have
There you
no
go.
idea what you.
If you have a reason to
no
party,
idea
you're
what
like,
you want.
woo.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Donnell.
Donnell, he's
we-
real happy to be there.
Yeah. Then we get Kathy.
Kathy,
Kathy is the Staten Island. Oh, what did they say?
Staten Island diva.
Diva.
Yeah.
Staten Island diva.
Who doesn't give a shit if you like her or don't. Quote.
And the only thing, recognizable thing she has in the show is she was like super late because she had to look perfect.
She puts. I think she also said something along the lines of like, "Yeah, each and every day I put the most amount of time into looking perfect."
Yeah. Just like crazy. She's definitely
Gotta look perfect.
probably more akin to like a Jersey Shore show, I think, than this show. But,
Oh yeah,
you know, it is what it is.
yeah. So she seems like the easy target to kind of hate on early, but be curious to see what goes on with that.
Who is the person from Puxatawny?
Ben, Punxsutawney Ben.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
He's like 44, I think.
Yep. He was. I don't know if there's anything else to say about him.
He's just he's never left the United States before.
He wore a top hat to the airport.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, it's a real mercury load there.
Yep.
We got Belinda.
Belinda.
Which
Is it
a-
Belinda or B-I-L-E?
It's Belinda,
Belinda.
not Belinda.
Belinda.
100%.
Some weird spellings going on. She's just like a larger black lady, black
Yeah,
woman.
Seems pretty excited to be there. Kind of mostly all right, but a little bit
I
competitive.
mean, we could just
I'm getting
kind
some
of
competitive
roll
vibes.
through a lot of these. Olga.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know who the hell Olga was.
All I know about Olga is that every time she jumped on that treadmill, she bit it immediately.
We got Darcy, which we
Darcy.
already spoiled that she gets eliminated.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was
She-
she the
she's
stay-at-home
the-
mom?
She was 31.
I want to say she's the one that's like, yeah, I'm just like a small town stay-at-home mom.
I think
That's
so.
it. Like exact words.
And she failed every time she was on the treadmill in the first challenge.
Yeah, she self-admittedly said she did terrible in that challenge.
Yeah, she deserved to be
Right.
in the elimination round. I'm not sure she should have been eliminated. That challenge, not great.
The
Nope.
elimination challenge or the treadmill thing?
The elimination challenge. I liked the treadmill challenge. I thought the treadmill challenge was really good.
It was fun.
Then we talked about Darcy, right?
Yeah.
We just talked about Darcy. Sorry. Megan.
I couldn't tell
Oh,
you one thing about
got
her.
She's the
nothing.
blonde.
Oh, is she the one with wearing crazy outfits?
Yo, that's like a V-neck to the very limit.
It was a V-neck down below the waistline.
Yeah.
That's the deepest V you can get.
Definitely the deepest V I've ever seen. Yeah. So she's the hot blonde on the
We
show.
got- wait. Yeah. Then there's Mary. I don't even. Is she
Don't
the
know.
pigtails girl? Who's the pigtails?
Yeah,
girl?
I think that's Mary. She
You
wears
can tell she's
pigtails when
excited,
she's excited.
because she's wearing pigtails. So
And
dumb.
then we've got Justin.
Oh, from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Tulsa, Alabama.
I remember really
Tulsa's
liking
not in
Justin
Alabama.
as the series goes on, but he doesn't really get any playtime in this episode.
Nope.
He does have a pretty nuts nipple ring, though.
oh yeah,
That is true.
It's
Like,
very
it's-
large, and I was very worried every time it was out that it was going to get caught on something and his nipple was going to get torn off.
So actually, what happened there is he liked his nipple, so he put a ring on it.
Oh.
Too good. I guess
face palm.
there's an Andrew. I don't remember who Andrew was.
Definitely don't remember.
Oh,
an
that-
Andrew.
might have been
Andrew was
Alabama.
the eating guy on the one team.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Who was-
yeah.
Yeah.
That's where didn't like the host say, "Look at chubby face go" or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at chubby face go.
He also said that Darcy is a puddle of tears,
yeah.
which is pretty mean.
Pretty mean.
I mean,
but not totally inaccurate.
Was she crying? I
Oh,
don't
yeah, she
remember.
was.
Yeah.
After the treadmill challenge, because she did so bad, and she knew it.
They're all probably real jet lagged and stuff, too. Like,
Oh,
they can't
God.
be in a great state.
No. I think that's everyone. I don't think
So yeah, there's what, like 8, 10 people?
10 people.
10 people. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. We might have missed somebody.
The
Who
green
cares?
monkeys and the
Yellow penguin.
Definitely
Penguin.
getting some like Legends of the Hidden Temple vibe from like Green Monkeys.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Silver
Isn't
snakes.
it green monkeys on Legends of the Hidden Temple?
Probably.
I think it would be yellow monkeys. I don't know. It might be yellow iguanas.
This is where we
It's hard to
Noah's
know.
Internet Corner.
Blue barracudas,
Blue barracudas, silver snakes,
red.
iguanas.
Yep. Whatever.
Doesn't
Yellow.
matter. This is not.
What do you guys are off in
So this first challenge, when they show up at the studio, the craziest thing when they just say matcha day is the audience says, and they have this hand symbol that they do that's just nuts. This is the intro of this challenge of this show is pretty crazy.
This is all getting a little bit weird too, because this is I assume a fake game show that they made up for this American reality show.
This is not a real game show.
So it's it would have been. I feel like it would have been a lot more interesting if you stepped some Americans into a real ass,
Just
insane
full-on.
Japanese game show. Like the fact they had to invent this fake game
I
show.
think it's
is
pretty
weird.
crazy that they invented this thing.
I mean, it is crazy.
They got all of these. They got real Japanese actors to be the hosts and the judge, and they got this audience. And they've got every person other than the 10 contestants is all Japanese, all authentic, all barely talk English.
Oh yeah, it's totally crazy that they made this whole game show for this thing, because it seems like it would have been so much easier to just put them on a Japanese game show.
Apparently, the
get a translator or something.
Yeah, just subtitle it.
The producers watch a ton of Japanese game shows to set this up. So
I'm sure they did.
They feel authentic too. They don't feel that. It's crazy. We just made it up.
Right.
It seems
right.
like they took elements from actual shows.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the show was originally called Big in Japan, and then they realized that wouldn't work. Internet Corner.
Internet Corner. Yeah, and so the host is pretty good. I like the host. He's
Which one
Wait,
is the host?
wait, which host? The game show host or
game
the
show
reality
host.
show host?
Game show host.
Okay.
Reality show host is
He's
It's
fine.
whatever.
He's whatever.
he's a dude.
The game show host seems like a real interesting character.
He's
I'm
the
going to
real
call him a
deal.
character intentionally.
I mean, he's definitely a character for sure. I don't know how to describe him though. He's just got a lot of energy. It's kind of like a lot of energy. Bob Barker,
High energy Bob Barker. Wow.
There you have it. Yeah. His English is pretty good.
yeah,
I will say.
He probably has the best English other than the host.
Yeah.
And then you've got Judge Bob. I thought this is also a good character.
Real name.
He's just a flat-faced guy that's super serious.
Very silenced, salaryman type, but he's just judging this game show.
Yeah, and he's wearing a suit
He's 50.
The host is wearing this colorful outfit, and
He's wearing a suit, but the shirt and tie is 3 steps next level. It's his tie is straight out of EDC. It's got at least 15 different colors, very bright and vibrant. He's got a bright orange shirt on or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And-
But he's definitely dressed more colorful. And this guy's very plain,
yeah, he's
normal
just wearing
suit,
a regular suit.
black tie or blue tie or whatever.
And
Judge Bob. There's no way that Judge Bob's name is Bob.
No, that is definitely a character for sure.
I like that he had some more to do throughout, especially in the elimination challenge. They kind of they kind of set him up to be an interesting couple of moments.
They definitely cue things up just for him. He's Vanna White.
Yeah. He seems like he's kind of the assistant,
especially in the elimination challenge, he was the one to be let me look at this board that everyone could see clearly how many points people got. Oh, okay.
Seems like the Andy Richter to Conan or whatever kind of.
Yeah, it's great. I think the two of them play off each other really well. And it just I think they do such a good job of introing these guys into this crazy situation that they end up in.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's really what it is. It's just these people in a crazy situation that really works out.
It's a very fluid transfer from we're visiting some cool country to, I guess we're on this Japanese game show.
Yeah.
It's all right, go put that penguin suit on. You're going to go do whatever.
I feel like it would be awesome if each episode they do a different crazy thing. Like this one, you went to Japan, did a crazy Japanese game show. Then like next week you go to Russia and now you go in fishing or something. Just be like the weirdest, craziest things, and it's just to see these people in them.
It would be like, I mean, like I actually think you could make a whole show around doing different crazy things like in Japan. I mean, like one of them could certainly be like being on a Japanese game show, but like you could do a bunch of challenges that are like mole style. It's like, oh, try to figure out how to deal with the Tokyo subway and it's insane, or like whatever. Like you could do a lot of that kind of stuff.
It's like
Some
2008,
sort of
you don't have a cell
idiot
phone.
abroad type situation.
Some sort of idiot abroad type situation.
But some sort of competition survivor reality show.
Who can carve the most tuna or whatever. Too expensive to do, but you know what I mean.
No, I think exactly. It's just the show is just Americans abroad, and it's just about Americans going to other countries for the first time. They have no idea how to handle it.
I mean, it's just like I love this intro of how crazy this situation is for them.
For sure.
And as like the show goes on, it's just not that crazy anymore.
Right, they're just in Japan.
But
like
I mean, the game shows
weeks.
are crazy.
Right.
So I mean that's part of the appeal.
There's no more surprise of like, oh, we're
This
in
is the
Thailand
show
now
I'm
or
on.
whatever. It's just, oh yeah, we know we're in Japan.
Yeah.
It would be fun if they were shipped around the world to be on different like TV shows and they didn't know what the format was.
Oh, that'd be so good. Oh man.
Would it still be a competition? Or some weeks it's a
don't know.
competition, some weeks it's not.
They're on some
It could be on-
telenovela or whatever.
Sure, some like Russian propaganda show. I don't know.
Take a group of actors and they're just on a different show every day.
Yeah,
And see
that
how
would be great.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, so this challenge, as I described before, is people running on this really long treadmill with like these crazy hats on, and they had like machi in them along with flour. It's unclear what else
it
was
seemed
in
like it was
this.
supposed
Like,
to be some sort of like ball type food,
well, like,
and like they had to put in their hat things, and they had
it
to
wasn't
run.
just machi though. It was like
There's a bunch of other like shit
Like
too.
it
I don't know.
it seemed like there was some kind of flour or something to like prevent it from sticking to the hat, because that would make it the challenge too easy if the thing
That would
wasn't
make
rolling
sense.
around.
Mochi is very sticky.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
probably what it was.
We did skip over the one thing I did like about this challenge,
What?
which was the animated cartoon to explain the challenge and how it would work.
Yeah.
Oh
It
yeah.
was so well done. Like it was so detailed. I felt like it was just a good way to like explain. And it was like, oh, okay, this is what's gonna happen when a person hits the button, and when dude's gonna fall down, they're gonna slide off the treadmill into like a big bowl of flour or something. Like I don't know.
Just like that is
Great.
a common theme in these. Is
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
or you just fall in something that's kind of weird, sometimes disgusting, sometimes just annoying. Like the flour is just annoying. Like I don't know how to describe that other than like now I'm covered in flour.
Mhm.
Thanks.
For not really any reason.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just like that like the animation was like pretty clear about like what the rules were, like how it works, okay, what's gonna happen, but also without giving any of away. Whereas like, you know, sometimes in other shows where they'll show it'll be like a clip or something, you're like, oh, what was that move
Yeah.
that person did?
I think the production design of the Machi Day show is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'd rather just watch Machi Day with different like things. Like I could care less about the whole reality.
Is
part.
is
No
there
doubt.
a cut of that show that's just the game show?
Potentially.
Because like it seems like it's like a legit show in the way they're shooting it. They're like, all right, we're on the air.
So it absolutely is not.
Damn it.
I was hoping that maybe they took that part and like showed it in Japan or something.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
No.
Damn.
It definitely looked like when they were like sitting in whatever room, like huddled around the TV watching the other team, it definitely looked green screen on the TVs too. I mean, I don't know.
Look, what green?
It looked
screen?
like the green screen on the TV, like they overlaid whatever the final cut of the show was on the TV, and they were probably just watching
Sure.
some weird feed.
Mm.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, the graphics were also like the green monkeys had like a pretty funny like green monkeys thing.
Oh yeah, that stuff was good.
Production
yeah.
was great.
Yeah,
They-
production was good. Artwork was nice.
They had definitely nailed when you walk around Japan, there's just cute little animals and critters just on signs everywhere promoting different stuff and brands and whatever. And they definitely nailed the little critters things with the little penguin and the monkey. It's good.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's a lot to talk about with these guys doing this challenge. Like
I
sometimes
feel like one of the hard parts was just eating the stupid thing.
Yeah, sometimes it looked like it was hard to eat it, and sometimes it didn't.
Yeah,
like
unclear.
the edit made it seem like the yellow team was eating it pretty quickly, but then he failed at the end.
Yeah, it came down to one team had 11, one team had 10.
I'm wondering if it was actually that, or that's what they said it was.
Who knows? It seemed like was it the yellow team? Like they were really failing hard.
Yeah, they were failing just getting on the treadmill.
And treadmill was moving. To be
Yeah.
fair,
Oh,
like
yeah.
in these guys' defense, that thing was hauling. Like they were running on.
There was
this thing.
definitely like 7 miles an hour sometimes. Like I think it like went up and down a little bit, but like sometimes there's no way to just jump on something that's going 6 miles an hour or whatever. You just like it takes a second.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're not prepared with this heavy thing on your head, like it's definitely not an easy thing. Which I think I kind of appreciated about the challenge too.
Mhm.
Like it actually was hard, so you actually failed. It wasn't just like how many times can somebody go up to the thing and then how fast can he eat it. It was like you got to be able to do this beginning part too. So it's actually like team oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the person eating it had more of an effect because you couldn't get on the treadmill till they were done eating, and that's how you scored points. But the other people are also pretty instrumental. If you sucked at it, you were definitely going to lose.
I mean,
Definitely,
that's
yeah.
that's definitely the way that one team came back from a pretty bad start. Is like the dude who was eating, she seemed like was a much faster eater.
Well, that's what it made it seem like he was.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did.
But I don't know if he actually was.
Sure, but like I mean, that guy was definitely when the first team was going, he was talking shit about how he could eat so much faster than that guy who was eating.
Yeah, it seemed like the opposite. Like that team like started out like he could eat it really quickly and then couldn't eat it quickly at the end.
Yeah.
Whereas like the other team, he started out really slow, but then like by the end he was pretty quick.
Yeah, it did kind of seem like that.
But I don't know if that's just like the editing.
It's hard to know.
tell.
Yeah. But overall, good challenge. Like
Yeah,
it
I
was
thought
pretty
it was-
fun. Yeah.
The whole part of the show was great.
Oh yeah.
There was a funny part where the guy from Puxatawny like fell and he like did a spin and he like fell face first into the flour.
Oh, yeah, he
So his
did.
whole face was like just huge cakes of flour.
Oh yeah. I
That
guess
can't be sanitary.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
it's fine.
It's probably fine in the grand scheme of things. But I was gonna say like the other element that's kind of happening like while these people are like falling and like getting flour all over them and all this stuff is the audience is it seems like they're super encouraged to just laugh and make as much noise as they can. Like
They got a
at the
lot of
contestants.
noisemakers.
Right? They have tons of noisemakers and drums and like stuff. And then like anytime anything slightly funny happens, it's just like intense laughter, like the loudest laugh you've ever heard.
Yeah.
It seems like they're just super encouraged to kind of like laugh. At
They're
the contestants.
definitely encouraged. I
Yeah.
feel like there might be some weed maybe in the audience, some sort of.
Anything's possible.
I don't know. What's the laws in Japan?
You were there.
Extremely strict.
Yeah, I was like, they're pretty strict about laws there.
Yeah, I'm just messing.
Yeah.
I don't
But
think
yeah,
that's the
people
case.
were definitely laughing a lot.
I feel like it's kind of hard. Like the team that goes second has such an advantage. I feel.
I mean, they did
Totally.
lose though, but you
Yeah.
would think.
It definitely doesn't feel great that they got to watch the first team go.
Right.
Because they could have very easily just had them go off set and go in the green room with no TV.
Oh, that's
then
what I
just roll
thought they
out
were going
there.
to do. I thought,
Right.
okay, go to the back, like Family Feud style or whatever, right? Where the other
Right.
person's in the other room. That's not what happened. It's like, here's a TV. You can watch the other
It's
teams.
very weird.
Yeah.
I do like, but it would feel weird that the first team gets to watch the second team. Then I felt that was pretty good when they were watching the second team. Like
I mean,
that
it's
was
just
pretty
advantage to go
entertaining.
second to see what the strategy is, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. A lot of these competition shows do that. I don't know. There aren't that many where they like go off and can't watch the other people go.
And it seemed like Judge Bob or whatever his name is,
Judge Bob.
just randomly picked the team to go first too.
I'm sure. I don't know if producers really cared at all or not.
But like it's not like there was anything that happened. It's not like either of the teams earned the first place.
Yeah.
Like the first start. It was kind of random.
Yeah.
Also, the forming of the teams was just like, I don't give us your names. All right, you're on that team.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
whatever
Like,
bib you get, that's the team you're on.
They must-
apparently for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
They must have pre-made the teams and had those bibs
Yeah,
out in the right
sure.
way. I don't know.
They definitely did. So I forget what the order was, but we didn't talk about when they first get to their house.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was before this. When the
yes.
first introduction
It
of
was,
Mama-san,
Yeah.
and like they were drinking some sake.
Well,
No, it was probably
yeah.
shochu.
Yeah, it was. So the one girl that was trying to drink it just like picked up a random bottle of clear liquid and thought it was a wine cooler, was her words. Went to drink it and it was like, that ain't wine cooler, that's some kind of lighter fluid. And spit it out in the sink. And it was probably, like soju or something. I don't know. But like, those things don't usually taste bad, so like, it's a weird reaction. So I don't know. They
I
also- it
mean,
seemed
if
like they
you're
had more
trying to
unusual
drink
foods.
a wine cooler, you're not drinking things that taste like real alcohol. Like you're trying to drink juice that has alcohol in it.
That's fair. I don't know. It was definitely a strong reaction. We'll never know what was in that bottle. And then people were just kind of eating a bunch of stuff. Everyone was like real like, whoa, the food's crazy here. Which like, I don't know what they were eating. It was hard to tell. Like maybe they just filled the house with a bunch of like really
Dumb
authentic or
snacks.
traditional
Sure.
or like dumb stuff. I don't know.
I don't know.
Donnell was really freaking out about the toilet, as one will in Japan, but more so about the fact that it had a remote control for the toilet.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I assume it's a Toto because everything's a Toto in Japan. But toilets in Japan, A+. I got a quick shout out to Toto. If you want to send me a toilet, I would sit on it.
Are you gonna buy yourself one?
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty nice. It's a good experience. It's just like everything about it. You got the temperatures regulated. You got all kinds of adjustments. The seat will auto open, auto close, auto flush. Like you walk in the restroom, you don't have to do anything. It just does everything for you.
So
Except poop. You got to poop still.
last time I went to Japan, after I got back, I started looking on Amazon at Japanese toilets just to get an idea of it. I have had ads for Japanese toilets ever since for like 6 months after that.
No.
Oh boy.
So you're just like watching Hulu
Just
now,
like,
and it's
it's
like, hey, you
super-
gotta when you gotta go.
It's super niche, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this person really wants a Japanese toilet," and I'm
You're
like, "You're
just
not
like-
wrong."
Maybe at
Like-
the 6 month onset, you're like, okay, he's not gonna buy one.
Yeah.
But like 1-2 months later, like, oh, maybe. you
No,
really want it.
that 507th impression might be the one that tips it over the edge.
Anything's possible.
I
Lord
think-
knows. Every
yeah.
time I saw it, I was like,
Just a little bit more, just chips away a little bit every time
Well,
you
it
see
depends on like if you go to like if you do that, but then if you go to like some other look for something else that's willing to pay more for your impressions.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like anything
Maybe
to do
they've
with the
done the math
numbers.
and they
It's just
know that,
like,
like-
Max's impressions like are bidding at like negative money.
Well, they also
like
know that
free.
Max goes to Japan somewhat frequently, so he's more likely than most to purchase a Japanese
Oh yeah,
toilet.
they've got his linked account. He's
They've
got
got
his
everything.
Japanese flights.
Oh yeah.
Connected with him looking for a Japanese toilet.
I'm not sure once every 7 years is frequent.
Only once in every 7?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Man, I feel like every time I'm talking to you, you're in Japan.
Every time.
Every time I'm talking
Every
to you.
week.
Every week we do the podcast.
I mean,
ooh, we should do a podcast in Japan though.
ooh.
Take this thing
So
on the on the
take-
road.
Take it on the road. Do we do a podcast on our way to Japan or when we're there?
All good questions.
Only if we like have our own cabin.
All right. So Mama-san comes into this house, and I thought it was pretty good. Like everyone's wearing their shoes, and Mama-san
yeah.
immediately yells at them to take their
Shoes.
shoes off. And the Mama-san says, "Time to go to bed," and everyone just goes to bed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure how many reality shows tell their contestants to go to bed, but I guarantee you it's not as sharp as this person is telling them to go to bed.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
She is definitely laying down the law very quickly in this house.
She's great.
I'm trying to imagine what it would be like if there was a Mama-san in the challenge house. Just
would be
TJ,
laying
go to
down the
bed.
law.
It would not go.
It would be kind of like, remember in BIP with that like bartender
Oh yeah.
kind of thing, but like more like harsh and insane.
Yeah.
the
right?
bit bartender. Oh,
Oh.
my god. What is happening?
What a great idea.
It was just like a side recurring character that's kind of interesting. I put her on the same as the host and Bob.
Mm. So question about the house, since you've seen more of this.
Yeah.
So like one of the things that's like different in a show like The Challenge is like there's a bunch of house drama that goes on. And so like this show is pretty clear. It's like I Survived the Japanese Game Show, but there's also this like drama element. I'm thinking, and so I'm just curious. Like, is there
There's
like more into the house and like
definitely-
stuff, or is it? Do they kind of stay away from that?
There's
and,
definitely
like-
some drama. I don't remember quite clearly. It's been 8 years,
Sure.
9 years or whatever. But there's definitely drama about people like losing. People.
But they're not just like hanging around the house drinking and like
I don't
stuff
know.
happens.
No,
Does anybody
There's no
fucking-
club night.
Not that I remember.
Okay.
Well,
There's no politics.
I think there's some, when you go on the like excursion kind of things, there's definitely a lighter day that day. I don't know if there's any. There's definitely some drama, but there's not a lot. I think it's mostly based on like why we lost and oh man, now I got to go to elimination kind of drama, but not too
Nobody
much
is anybody
like
banging anybody.
There's no politicking in this show.
No politicking.
This is like an ABC show
Yeah.
on like 8 p.m. Like this isn't the show for politicking. This is like
is the
Survivor
family
doesn't
show.
even have politicking like most of the time. And if there is, you're definitely not seeing it. So after this challenge, I guess we can talk about the rickshaw.
There's nothing to say.
There
The
really
most
is
interesting thing about the rickshaw was like they had to get dressed up in these like, I guess authentic like rickshaw outfits that like the workers wear, the drivers or whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
And so like honestly, that was the most interesting part because like they all struggled to like get it on, and I don't know. That was about it. That's all I got.
It seemed like so I was wondering how it's going to work. 'Cause it's like you have to be a rickshaw driver for 2 hours, and I was like, how are they going to know where to take people? Like once they get in the thing, but it seemed like somebody just gets in and they just do like a lap around like a few blocks, and then it's just kind of done. Maybe they pick up somebody else, but that wasn't. I mean,
They made it seem like the way
Yeah.
they edited it was just like you just do one ride. and
That was the
you
only.
made
We
it.
only saw one like really
Yeah.
in motion.
which is weird. Like were they taking that person around for 2 hours?
Like maybe just like the people couldn't do it. Like I don't know. It seems like they just kind of failed at making it interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
I think this like while the idea of being on the helicopter that got the tour and like the team that won sounds interesting, I don't know that like watching people take a helicopter tour was very interesting.
Oh, it was terrible. That was also boring.
Yeah.
Like
So like those two parts I think were the like the
just
low light
like
of this
you
episode.
wanted some cool shots of Tokyo. Like you're not going to get more than like a minute or two out of that anyway.
Yeah.
You got like the most interesting part was the deep V.
Oh yeah. The outfit that was that Olga?
Yeah, I feel like they were severely limited in their shots they could show because of that deep V.
Yeah,
Like
she did not get a lot of airtime
there
during
was
that.
not a lot of shots of that deep V.
ABC not playing it as risky as MTV would.
Yeah,
Oh,
if this
yeah.
was an MTV, they would be the only person you saw.
Although later in the episode they did have cameras in a very surprising place, which was the changing room,
That's true.
which was very odd. I don't know why that camera was there at all.
Should we just jump to that?
I think we're about ready to get into that
that's
anyways.
fine. We can go to the
There's a
list.
Let's
reason
get
there's
into it.
cameras in these changing rooms. It's because they're only throwing more clothes on, not dressing down.
Oh, okay.
The more clothes they're throwing on is like a bee costume and a fly costume. Is that true? Was there a bee?
No, they were both.
They were both
bugs.
flies?
I think
They
they
were
were
both-
both just.
Some kind of bugs.
I don't know, like a ladybug outfit.
Generic bugs?
Generic. It was a very generic bug, or a Japanese bug that I don't recognize.
Okay.
Either seems reasonable.
Bug splat.
It was big bug on windshield.
Big bug splat on windshield.
Yeah, I didn't catch the Japanese name of it.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. So, Darcy is clearly the underdog in this. Everyone wants Darcy to go because she failed so bad. And
Yeah,
she
so they
looks
kind of
kind
vote,
of
I
weak.
guess. Like the yellow team votes on who to go in.
Yeah. The team
Whatever.
voted on two people to go in. There was minor drama around that. But it starts out with her. She gets 3 points, and B. Linda gets 2. So she starts out behind, and they tie at the end. And the only reason I think, like, this challenge is really designed very well, because, like, you had to go jump increasingly higher. You had to go for certain points.
Right.
So-
So essentially, you had this bug costume. You had this like splatter thing, which is kind of irrelevant, and you had this like sticker thing in your hand, and you had to run, jump on a trampoline, jump up off the trampoline and onto like this board or the windshield. You're the bug. Hit the target.
I get it. Yeah. And like the last one.
I mean, I know you get it. You watch the show. I'm just trying to make sure everyone else
I know.
understands what's happening.
The last one was pretty high up, and Belinda was just taller and like better at jumping on the trampoline.
Yeah, I think she was just had more size. Was just bigger.
I'm not sure if that helps you when you're jumping on a trampoline that much.
I don't know. Force down, force up.
I mean, like you see those people who are like the trampoline Olympic gymnastics people, and those people are definitely not big people.
Yeah,
Those people are Olympic athletes.
Oh yeah, they are.
Like, I don't know that
Wait,
that just equates
wait.
to.
There's
I'm just saying.
trampolining in the Olympics.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, they have trampoline gymnastics in the Olympics. I feel like trampoline is mostly about form. I think it's about hitting the tramp right, getting that pop. I guess if like all things considered, if everyone just hits it bad the same way, like maybe you get a little more pop.
Like Darcy,
Or if
didn't look
everyone's
like,
really good, I think more mass equals you get more pop. I don't know.
I don't
Could
think
be.
so because you got to
Really
get
no?
more energy to get them higher in the air.
That's fair. I guess there is gravity working against you.
like
in
I
either
don't think
case,
that
I
helps
don't
you at all.
Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Who knows? Darcy couldn't jump high enough is the takeaway.
Yeah. So she lost.
So she lost. So she has to walk out of the studio in the bug
It
costume.
was unfair.
Whoa!
Oh, shit,
James,
sorry.
James.
It was so
She did
insane.
not walk out of this.
I mean, yeah.
James,
There was-
explain to me what happened with Darcy when she lost.
This might have been like one of the funniest parts of the show, I guess. Which is, so they're on the Japanese game show set, and it's the host guy. I don't remember his name, and then Darcy and the other girl. And so they're like, oh, okay, congratulations to the winner. And then for the loser, we have one more thing. And they just bring in, like, they open these doors, and it's about 18, 20 Japanese dudes in these suits, all wearing, like, these blacked out shades so you can't see their eyes. Just come in dancing and training in. And then they just proceed to pick Darcy up off the ground, and the crowd continues to sing Sayonara. There's, like, a Sayonara song that's going on. And there's like a fog machine popping off, and they just carry Darcy right on out of there while they're singing this Sayonara song. It was, I've never seen an exit to a show like that before. It was insane.
It's definitely crazy.
It was very wild.
Yeah. They do that every episode.
That's so good.
It is amazing.
Oh man, yeah, that was something. That's a hell of a way to go out, and whew,
And that's the end of the episode.
yeah,
Well,
that really is just that is.
They dump her outside the studio, and she walks off in a bee costume
That was pretty bananas.
with like sad music going on.
Yeah, super dumb. I do like to imagine that they're just like, find your own way home.
That'd be great.
You've got no phone and no money, and you're in Japan,
And I took your passport.
and you don't have a passport. Whew, rough. I think that's the show.
And I think that's it. I don't have anything else to say.
All right.
Does anyone want to know who the winner was?
Sounds like some people want to watch. Not me.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's
I don't know
not
if
important.
I'm. Yeah, like I'd be curious to know.
Tell me who the last two are.
All right, I'll tell you who the last.
Okay, just tell me who the winner is.
Man, you really bailed on that quickly.
So Donnell
Oh,
Really?
Donnell.
Donnell won
and
it.
Justin are the two finalists.
Donnell and nipple ring.
Yep.
It would be insane if like the final challenge is like rip out his nipple ring.
Oh,
That would be.
Why would that be the challenge?
You wouldn't expect it.
That's fair. I have to wonder if like Donnell just being like super excited and like kind of just willing to do whatever it seems like must have been a good like advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was just a good competitor too. I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
and I don't know if you want me to tell you who actually won.
Go for
I
it.
mean, at this point.
Just do it.
Justin is the
Oh
Can't
man,
believe
that's
it.
rough. That's
nipple
rough.
ring.
Nips wins it.
Now he's got enough money to get the other one pierced. That's why he said he was on the show, right?
I love Donnell was like, he was like at the beginning, he was like, yeah, I need this money for my kid and my wife, and I need the money. Like,
He's
Like,
like, he's
what?
like, there's $250,000 out here. I'm about to get all that money for my kids and my wife and my family.
no, yeah, and I need that money.
Yeah, I need that money too.
So one question I have just about like how the show works.
Yeah.
So there was confessionals, but when are they filming those? That was
Who
very
knows?
unclear.
It's a
to me.
house, probably, right?
Like later that day, like after the whole show
Post-competition.
happened,
Gotta think.
or
I think this was 2 days.
it was
Yeah, this
2
is
days.
2 days.
Okay,
So like post competition, both and like,
so it was like competition, punishment / reward, sleep on it, elimination. Oh no, they did the elimination the same day as the
Yeah.
thing.
The last.
Okay.
so like competition.
Yeah.
Then they did confessionals. Then the next day was the like punishment reward. Then they did
Then
the
elimination.
elimination.
Got it. And so that's
Now-
just the format. They probably rinse repeat.
Yeah, and then like 14 days or whatever.
So they can crank this whole thing out in like,
It was 2 weeks.
okay,
There were 7 episodes.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and there were 2 seasons. I only watched season 1
Hmm.
when it was on.
Was season 2 different people? I assume.
Probably.
No, they took the same 10 people and
Reshuffled
put them
the
in
teams.
Korea.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean like
No,
Damn
It's
it.
different
Oh.
people.
that would have been interesting though. It's like now
But
you're
what are
in-
crazy Korean shows? That's not
I
a
don't
thing.
know. Just
There's
pick another
crazy
country.
Japanese shows.
I don't know. Just pick any other country.
You just crazy Korean soap opera you're on.
What's
Yeah.
the?
You're given surgery today.
I don't know. It's always fun to go to another country and turn the TV on and see what's happening.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel like the UK has got some crazy ones, which we've done.
Definitely.
So there you go.
All right, Harrison,
Oh boy.
give it to me.
The
Give me the
rating.
ratings.
Okay. Well, I mean, I thought it was entertaining. Certainly, a super watchable show. I don't know, like it didn't kind of grab me the way, like it's not really compelling me to like watch the rest of the season, but like it was a decent show. I kind of think that like the punishments should just be competitive challenges. Like I think that part of the reason why some of that stuff doesn't really work is because there's no real motivation to do it well. It's like if that rickshaw thing had been like like you got to all
Yeah.
race in this rickshaw 3 miles to this thing, like it would have been getting crazy.
But I'm watching this show for the game show.
No, I know.
And like you removed the next game
I think
show?
that's kind of part of my like. I don't know if like the game show challenges are like, and maybe I need to watch more of them, are going to be enough to really keep me interested, because there's not a lot of house drama. If like the rewards and punishments aren't going to be super interesting, then the game show stuff has to be great. So I don't know. Middle tier.
I was like, wait for the answer.
It's a middle tier. It's a middle tier.
All right, Max.
Middle tier, bottom of the middle. Here's why. I'd rather watch a real Japanese game show.
Fair enough.
This felt like American producers getting very good Japanese people to do their ideas. I want the real thing. I want to be truly
But
shocked.
have you seen the real ones?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
amazing.
I don't know.
They're so good.
I kind of. Well, I'll get into it. James.
So there's I think overall like, I'll cut to the chase. Like it's definitely in the middle for me. Show was a pretty fun watch, casual. I kind of get it for like the time and era of the show. Like I could totally see this being like a pretty easy family show to throw on. Bunch of people around. You don't need a ton of context. You can kind of just pop in and see what's happening, because like the drama and all that stuff isn't as important. But I think because of that, I'm not super motivated to like want to watch like a ton of it or like really follow it closely. But I could totally see like if this was on, like, oh yeah, sure, like let's pop that on for a half hour or whatever it is. So yeah, like overall solid show. It was fun. It was interesting with the Japanese elements, although like I get it, right? Like this is a like mainstream introduction to Japan in a bit. But I agree with Max. It would be kind of fun to like watch more like straight up like, oh, this is really crazy Japanese stuff. Middle.
I think I've got to agree with you guys. I think it's a middle third show. Like I watched the show back in the day, and I now remember watching. Like I didn't remember. So like I was like, is it great? Is it good? I don't remember, but I saw the whole season. I thought that the game show that they made, the American produced Japanese game show, is really good. They've
It's
done
pretty
such
good,
a
yeah.
good job. And I remember really liking the punishments, like watching these people do like crazy Japanese punishments. I remember that being really good, but I remember just like everything else kind of just being kind of mediocre. But it was like summer of like I was between college. It was just like it was a fun show to watch. Didn't watch season 2, probably for obvious reasons. So, middle third.
Another unanimous decision
Wow.
Good
by
job, team.
WPTO.
I mean, we broke our streak last week.
Oh, damn it.
We had 7 people on the pod last week.
It's hard to get all
There's
seven.
a lot of people on the pod.
Irregular episode.
So why don't you give us some breakdown of being in Japan?
Oh,
Since
yeah.
we did
Yeah.
the show because you guys were in Japan. So like,
I mean, it was definitely interesting. The show started out at Shibuya Crossing, which was definitely a really cool place to go and visit and see, and try to walk through a couple times.
can you
for sure.
walk straight through?
So you can walk in literally any direction you want, and Max probably knows this better than I do, but it's like at least 5+ streets colliding together, maybe 6.
Oh, yeah,
like it's
it's-
a bunch of streets coming together, so it's not
It's
just like your
nuts.
standard 4-way crossing.
So how are there like 8 streets and pedestrian crossings all at the same time?
So they just do red lights in all directions, and then all
Yeah.
pedestrians cross in every direction at once, and then
Okay.
they,
Right, it's just all traffic stop.
yeah.
They actually want to do that to the Bartels over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Japan. Like, there's so many. Like, it's hard to describe the amount of people and how dense the population is, and like literally every direction you look is like people, buildings, signage, neon stuff, lights. Like, it's great. It's just like, in short, Tokyo is a lot like Manhattan, but like on steroids, just
Yeah.
in every direction.
Just brighter lights.
But like, I mean, I would also say that like
Different too.
like Tokyo is such a big city that like different parts of that city have a really different feel, and like there are certainly parts of the city where it's just like sensory overload, like insane signs and lights and a billion people and stuff happening. But then there are definitely some that are kind of like a little bit, a little more chill,
Oh, yeah,
a little
there's
more
definitely-
residential. Like, I mean, for sure.
Still packed, but
Oh
like.
yeah.
Like quieter to some degrees. Like it was all just kind of different nuances. I mean, it felt like, you get on the subway for 10, 20, or 30 minutes and like you go to a different neighborhood and it truly feels like a different neighborhood.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting in a city that large with like 30 something plus million people.
Yep.
Really interesting. Yeah, just
so is it like Times Square, but like multiply that by like the size of Times Square is not big. It's like
yeah. I think
only a couple
Shibuya
blocks.
It's
is
not
a big
that-
area.
It's not
that
big.
big. It's
Yeah.
just packed always. And
But it's bigger than Times Square. Like it's more blocks.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
want to think about it in that way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I remember we walked around like a
Yeah,
decent
that's
bit.
what I'm referring to.
I would say shorter buildings, larger area.
Agree.
right, like it's not just that square. It's all the streets around. it, too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Some really interesting stores and stuff to walk through. There's a couple of stores that are just huge, like mega stores, and so like every floor will just be something totally different. So like I can't remember. It was like something camera, like Yoshida camera or something like that. Anyway, I probably butchered the name of that, but it was like this insane like 12 or 15 floor mega store that literally like the first floor is like, okay, it's like a Best Buy. So they got like, cell phones and laptops. And the second floor is like refrigerators. And the third floor is like chairs. And then it's like TVs. And it's like toys. And then it's like books. And it just keeps going. And like the top floor was like a batting cage. And it's just like, it's just floor to floor. It was just really fun to just like see all these different things.
It's so
tons
good.
of stuff.
It's definitely like the city's very dense, and whereas like here you kind of used to seeing like stores and places that you can kind of the public can kind of go into on like the first floor places, just like it's
Vertical.
6, 7, 8 stories up of just stores and places to go to,
Yep.
like in all the buildings, just because
Yeah.
space is it's such a premium. Like,
Yeah, I really liked walking around like Akihabara and just going through like some of the different like, which is like a big like not video game specifically, but
kinda
like video
like-
game
It's
arcade,
Nerd City.
It's
nerd
like-
capital, if
like
you will.
anime, video game, collectible stuff. Like
Yeah, and it was really fun to just walk through some of the stores there where like again you kind of go through different floors and it'll be like, okay, this is the insane anime floor. Oh, here's the mature anime floor. Oh, here's like the I don't even know, like the insane triple the size boobs anime floor. Cuz that happened. Yeah, it was
Talking
just
about
interesting.
anime titties.
Oh, there was definitely a lot of that. And then yeah, like one of the things that was interesting, like Harrison pointed out earlier, was just like the use or overuse of like these like cutesy characters throughout and for everything. Like it'd be a parking meter and there'd be like a cute little turtle on it, and like I don't know, just little things like that would be funny.
Yeah.
And pretty interesting.
like I mean on on this show, I understand why they kind of went the direction that they went with like the food stuff, and people being like, "Oh, this food's so weird. What's going on with the food?" But like, honestly, the food is like was one of the best parts of being there. Like the food is incredible. There's just so many different kinds of just great food just everywhere you go, and it's not. And like I would say that it is not food that would be offensive to American sensibilities either.
Pretty
like I think
reasonable in
it's
the
pretty
palate.
like reasonable and accessible.
Well, when
like,
space is limited, that's when your restaurants start getting really good. Because
Right.
like you can't just like have a shitty restaurant. A shitty restaurant just doesn't survive because no one goes there.
Not-
So
Mhm.
the thing is,
not
like,
enough space for an Olive Garden to exist.
the thing is, like, space isn't that limited though. When you have retail space up to like 8 floors,
Right.
it's very different from like New York. But yes, I agree.
There was
Maybe
also just
maybe
a
it's like
lot of
population
restaurants.
density wise, your restaurants
Yeah.
tend to get better. I don't know.
There's also a lot of small restaurants there, and there's a lot of restaurants that are like 8-10 people, like
Yup.
like sitting at like could sit at a bar or something like that. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. Like just like one dude can run the place, or it's run by like 2 people.
Yeah, like we went to multiple ramen shops. The whole place is just one dude making ramen. That's it. There's no waiters, no nothing else. Just one
Do you
dude.
think that he's there all day, or there's multiple ramen?
I think that that's his ramen
think
shop,
it's
and
him.
he's just there and he works that thing. I don't
Yeah.
know though, but
He just never takes a day off.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe he's got a sub. I don't know, but yeah, he's definitely just running it though. Yeah, food was quite delicious. Sights were awesome to see. Transit was amazing. Highly recommend it. It was a great trip.
Yeah,
overall.
I didn't get shoved into any trains with a big stick, so that was good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, there was some packed trains. I will
For
say,
sure.
this show doesn't do a good job at this, which was like, I was very impressed by the Japanese culture, just like the overall politeness and just helpfulness and just like the like willing to like go out of their way to like make sure that you were having either a good time or could find where you were going. I was just very impressed, and it was like very pleasant. Like it was very refreshing to go to.
You
a
didn't
country like
have
that.
Mama-san telling you,
No.
yelling at you.
There was
which
nobody like
direction.
Mama.
This
Amazon.
this show definitely taps into like the weird side of Japanese culture more so than that stuff for sure.
Yeah.
That's what you want to watch.
Sure,
Like that.
yeah.
I mean, that's what the show's about.
Like if you want the other side, you go to Terrace House. If you want the weird stuff,
Ooh,
here's where you
yeah.
come.
I mean, Terrace House wasn't a thing when this was on, but sure.
Yeah.
Harrison, do you have a challenge update?
I have been watching Champs versus Stars.
Oof.
I don't
Sorry.
know. I don't
What are
know
you
why.
doing?
I don't know
What
why
are
I
you- what are you
am.
doing?
But you know, I'm watching.
Why do you
it.
do this to yourself, Harrison?
Because it's on, man. And what else?
Hey, he'll keep us in the loop if we
what
need
do
to
I
know
not
anything.
like? What do I not have 40 minutes a week to watch Champs versus Stars?
Is
So
I mean, I could argue,
Is,
probably, like-
yeah.
is
It's probably better
Corey
use of your
out
time.
already?
What's that?
Is Corey out?
Corey was not in Champs versus Stars at
Okay.
all.
Corey's in another show
Um,
called X on the Beach.
He is. Which hey,
Which yeah.
Is Crazy Kaylee on that too?
No.
she's not in that one. But like, so it's
there's a bunch of we'll come back to X on the Beach.
yeah. Maybe in a future week we'll come back to X on the Beach. We'll see. So
Chances seem high.
so for Champs versus Stars, they like one of the twists they had this season is previously it had been a team of champs versus a team of stars, as the title would suggest. This season they've combined champs and stars onto the same team. Like so, there's like a red team that has some champs and stars, and a blue team that has some champs and stars on it. So it's kind of changing the dynamic a little bit there.
So
but
they
really,
actually balanced it.
but like really, what it's doing is like it's creating like basically champs versus stars inside of each of these teams, and basically like all the champs are just gang up because they know how the game works. They just gang up. They're ganging up on the stars a bunch. So like in the first couple of eliminations, like it's pretty much just been like all of the best stars that have been going into the eliminations. They've just been like parading them all into there. But in the most recent one, like I would say one of the best and only reasons to watch Champs versus Stars is for the eliminations, and just because of the idea that like somebody on the challenge would compete in some kind of a head-to-head physical competition with a famous person, and when they do specifically like the side-by-side like this person versus this person, it's really good. So this week it was Cam,
Okay.
Killa Cam versus Brooke Hogan, who is Hulk Hogan's daughter. So that's just like a
Yes.
super weird thing to think about.
What
It's
was
just like-
what was the battle? It's gonna be like it had to play chess, and you're like,
No,
fuck you, MTV.
it was like a physical thing. It was like
Oh,
it was
nice.
basically like this big kind of thing on wheel. I don't know if it's on wheels. There's like this big heavy looking thing that they had to like try and drag around, and like you had to, like drag it over to your side. So it was like a pretty direct like strength versus strength kind of competition.
How'd it go?
Brooke Hogan beat Cam pretty handily.
I'm always curious when like you put like an actual like athlete or something, right?
Yeah.
But these stars.
I guess not
They're also
athletes.
not all athletes. Some of them. So the first person off the show was potentially future NFL Hall of Fame running back Arian Foster. He was like
So they just ganged up on him, right?
So he volunteered to go into the first elimination because one of the champs convinced him that it was a good idea to put their best physical player in to knock the player from the other team out. So Arian Foster got in versus some dude from some other good star from the other team and got eliminated in the first week.
It was a great
on
move.
some
So he
on some
didn't
baseball challenge.
So he didn't just like throw it in to like leave the show, so he doesn't have to have like a.
It didn't seem like it, but
like a whoever from last season kind of just left.
yeah, T.O. just pieced out. I don't know. It didn't really seem like that, but who knows? Luis, though, who was the person who pulled that move with the limes in the episode that we watched in that one season where they were like picking names out of the bowl to go into the elimination. She lied about the one that she picked and threw somebody else in. So she's back again this season. She's really good. And she basically understands all the challenge strategy stuff because she's kind of gotten deep in this stuff since she was on last time.
She's basically a champ now.
Yeah, she's basically running. She's basically running shit.
Yeah.
Is
Like it's
she another banana? Is she female bananas?
She's like, yeah, kind of.
She's
This
good.
is
So
Mrs.
Max,
Banana.
you're also watching this?
I watched episode 1. I will not be watching anymore, but I understand the dynamics at play.
Yeah,
I'm not.
it's
gonna,
all right.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't deleted them off the DVR,
Oh my god.
There's still a chance.
so like I
Sorry.
might put them on when I'm at work, but I'm not actually watching.
I
it.
did just spoil the first 2 episodes for you.
I don't-
You know.
It doesn't matter.
Details.
Anything else? I feel like I wanted another update.
Westworld?
Oh,
Westworld.
some sort of Jersey.
We can't break down Westworld on this show. That's too much. That's beyond our scope.
Some sort of Jersey update. Though.
Oh, we're doing Jersey updates. Oh my god.
We'll keep it quick.
There's
Are you-
not. There's really not a lot to talk about.
I mean, I am the only one that hasn't seen it yet. So
Are you up to date, Chris?
yeah, I'm up to date.
Last
I don't care,
episode
go for
really great, right?
Yeah, I thought it's definitely one of the better ones. Yeah.
Great season, possibly the best show on TV. Get fucked, Westworld. Moving
No,
on.
no way.
Oh man.
Vinny was really great in this episode. He
Love
had
Vinny.
so many good one-liners this week.
Love Vinny.
He was great.
There's one scene where Mike, the situation, who's probably the oldest person on the show, dresses up in this really terrible outfit, and everybody is just dunking on him constantly.
Vinny says, "Hey, you look like Mark Wahlberg.
You look
If
like
you
a gay
start-
Mark Wahlberg.
No,
or
well,
something.
no, it's like if you look like Mark Wahlberg if you start in Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
Like a much
Oh,
funnier way to say that
Jesus.
same thing.
It's so good.
good delivery on that. Yeah.
Yep.
I watched 5 episodes of Terrace House Opening New Doors with my coworkers. It's the best season I've ever seen so far. It's
Really?
great. This is my 3rd season. It's great.
Man.
Wow.
This is the new one, right?
New one.
Oh,
This
buddy.
is back to Japan.
Back to Japan. Back to a like sort of a ski mountain, a winter break type situation.
Oh, buddy.
Oh,
so,
wow.
so if you had to pitch me on one show, would it be this
One-
Terrace House or Jersey Day?
Jers.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, buddy. And I know how much you like Terrace House.
It's so good.
I
Oh,
think
my
we might get a
God.
glimpse of Max's top 5 right now.
All right, I'll put it in
Wow.
I'll put in the official hopper now that I finished Winter Break.
Okay.
It's official. I've
what,
done it.
What do you think? What did you think of the ending?
What's
of
the
Winter
verdict on
Break?
Winter Break, guys?
Overall verdict is like it's a show that happened. I don't know that I would
think
recommend it.
It is not good.
It's not particularly great.
Were they right to immediately move it to MTV2 and then immediately move it to?
And like a
Canceled.
1 day. Well, they aired them all in a
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
They're all insane. There
That's
was
what
like a
happens when it gets
marathon. They're like, we're
canceled.
done with this.
Yeah.
So like, there's a DVR one Saturday filled up with like 4.5 hours because they added extra commercials to these shows. Like the show wasn't an hour; it was like an hour and 6 minutes.
Incredible.
Oh man, yeah. Like there was a few interesting-ish, I guess, plot lines. Like,
I don't even think there.
but
were.
like, there was.
What's the-
So here's the quick foot takeaways. 2 people had injuries. Well, like serious injuries.
Yeah,
One had a
like-
dislocated shoulder. One broke his collarbone. Mark scratched his face up pretty good, where he had to wear makeup a lot when he was going out because his face had a huge gash on it. And then what was the other? There was some other random injury too.
one of them was like the last day.
Yeah, that was J Brew. J Brew was
J Bros.
hitting the park. Yeah, so the J Brew bros on the last day at the mountain were like, "Yo, bro, let's go to the mountain and get one more like shred sesh." And so like they're going whatever, and then they're hitting the park. J Brew hits like a box rail, catches an edge, flips over, gets like a massive concussion. Cracks his like collarbone or something. He's immediately rushed to the hospital. Comes back later, which was interesting. There's obviously a lot of animosity in the house with J Brew.
So
But they
He's
rallied
such a
around him.
dick.
what's the worst thing that J Brew did all season?
The worst thing. Oh man. Oh, probably just like yeah. Probably the thing that would have pissed me off the most was just destroying my bedroom. Like if you were on the show, like him and TJ just go into these Sheen and Mark's room and just flip all their beds upside down and take all their shit and just basically just trash the room. And they're just like, "You got pranked."
Yeah,
I'm like,
they
"Is
were
that
like-
a prank? You just destroyed the room." I'm like, it's not really a prank.
Good one. Good prank.
Dude, okay.
That,
If-
yeah.
If that happened to me, I would say, okay, I'm going into your room and pranking you.
Yeah, well, so
You gotta be
Alessandra,
careful when you escalate pranks with the J Bros.
It's not an escalation,
Dude.
though. It's an equalization. It's harmony.
Oh,
Alessandra though
Simple
stepped her
harmonic
game up
motion.
strong and responds like somebody's got to get these fuckers. So her like brother or something mails into the show or like mails her at the house this bottle of what's called the liquid ass, which apparently just smells like raw sewage or something. But it's like in like, you know, like a 2
Sure.
ounce like little bottle, but it's
Sure.
like smells horrific. And so she's like, "I'm gonna get these guys." And so like while TJ's sleeping, she goes into the room and just starts spraying down J Brew's bed. And apparently like the instructors say like do one spray. She's just like dousing it while J Brew's in the shower. So J Brew comes out and like, you know, obviously like there's the cameras and stuff. And he's like looking around. He's like, something's going on here. And he actually thinks that TJ has shit his pants. And he's going around the house and he goes down to the hot tub. He's like, "Guys, I think TJ like shit his pants." It smells like baby shit up there. And so like they can't figure it out, and the girls are obviously all in on it and whatever, and they eventually figure it out, and they're like, "Well, okay, whatever." And then they never kind of get him back after that. It was kind of just the end of the show. So there's that. One other prank that he tried to do that I don't know if he was actually trying to prank so much as he was just actually trying to be helpful / a nice guy, which was an interesting term for J Brew. So there's this whole Mark and Taylor like love relationship thing that's going on.
Yeah.
And so like Mark really likes Taylor, which was that one girl, the blonde girl, early in the show.
Taylor.
Yeah. Pretty sure she goes by Taylor, but too late. We're calling it Taylor. But like, you know, she's had this other relationship. She's not interested, looking for that right now. But she's kind of leading him on. This goes on throughout the season.
The
There's like
whole
this back. It's
season.
so fucking long, and it's like every time Mark, she'll be like, "You should go hit on other girls and do whatever." Then he does that. Then she gets jealous. Then they make out, and she'll cock block him. It's like a whole thing. Anyways, so J Brew. Like Mark's like got no game. He just doesn't know what to do. He's like, I don't know. This never happens to me. Blah blah. Like I don't know what to do here. So J Brew, without anybody knowing, just like gets his. He just writes this basically like a love note and like leaves it for Taylor along with like some gift, which was like some photo that he just found in the house somewhere. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I gave you this." And
Wait.
so Taylor,
Who is this love note signed by?
signed by Mark.
Oh,
Yeah. So J Brew's like, all right, he's not getting it done. I'm gonna like leave a gift to Taylor from Mark.
Was it from Mark or was it not signed?
It was very clear that the letter was like intended
Okay.
to be from Mark.
I thought I was not sure if he was swooping in under Mark.
No. He was not trying to make a move.
All right.
He was trying to like
He's
be like, "I'm gonna
wingman.
stir the pot up. Like obviously
Okay.
there's something
Well,
here.
it's
I'm gonna
like
do this dumb gift, which is really stupid."
She keeps
but-
rejecting him.
Right.
Like flat out, and you know, this is a way to be like, "Oh, you know, this will create some drama in the house. It'll be funny."
Right.
like the J Brew would think.
Right. But then Taylor's like, oh, that's super sweet. I can't believe it. So now she's starting to like fall for Mark all over this letter, which then Mark just lies about. He's like, oh, yeah, I totally got you that gift and wrote that letter. And that goes on for some while. Eventually he comes clean and she gets mad about it, yada, yada, yada. She's going to New York to visit his family after the end of the show. So that one worked out. So they're kind of a thing.
I'm conflicted about the whole storyline because I'm like, I feel like Mark was a dick for a while, keep going after her, and then she was a dick back to him because she was like, yeah, just go do your thing. And he was like, okay, well, I'm hot. I can do my thing. And she was not liking that at all.
Yeah, he brings like a couple girls back to the house one night. He's like, popped the shirt off. He's like, girls love cooking. Got to cook up some dinner before I take them to the bed.
Yeah.
And so he's like, pops his shirt off and he's doing some cooking and she's all super jelly. Comes over, starts making out with him.
Yeah.
He's like, now the girls are obviously like, well, I'm going to leave. Like, this is what's going on here.
Yeah.
So
it was very interesting.
Yeah.
Look at something like that.
Crazy that this show was 4 girls, 4 guys. And 2 of them got in relationships. Like 2 girls, 2 guys, both in relationships.
Yeah.
That's like a higher success rate than a lot of these shows are focused on romance.
They just took a bunch of, like teenagers that like to snowboard and put them in a house. Well, I guess J. Brew's like 30, but.
Is he?
Oh, yeah. He's the oldest one in the show.
Well, and then I guess the other J Bro,
TJ,
his girlfriend shows up at some point.
Oh, yeah. Well, the girlfriend calls the house. TJ's girlfriend in the house answers the phone. She's like, who's this? Oh, it's Melissa, TJ's girlfriend. She's like freaking out.
Yeah.
The girlfriend wants to come. They cancel it. The girlfriend comes to pick him up on the last day. And it's like a whole thing. And TJ claimed that they're in an open relationship, which clearly they are not.
Yeah, that was clearly a lie from the very beginning. This is why I think the show actually was pushed off to MTV.
Just
because the tone of the show just does not fit with the tone of this like Me Too kind of like movement. It just does not.
You actually might be onto something there, which was like it in like the second half of this series. It kind of starts to go down this whole of like you feel weird because like TJ's clearly cheating on his girlfriend on TV.
I mean, they do that in the Jersey Shore. They do that in like a ton of shows, but it's just like
everyone in the house just immediately turns on him, and like
everyone in the house is like, "Yo, what are you doing?" He's cheating on her with you, like, but she's like, "Oh, I believe him," and I think it just shows like bad patterns to people. I think it should have been relegated, to be honest.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem like it was that amazing.
It's also not very good. It's not Jersey Shore. They've got no situation.
Jersey Shore is so good.
Like, I guarantee if that thing got good ratings, they would have probably kept it on MTV.
I'm sure, but they only gave it one try. The one episode got bad ratings.
It must have,
like, how
literally
bad
like zero people must have watched it.
Yeah.
But like, how does like 0 people watch that? But like, the Floribama Shore show gets like a huge number of people.
Floribama Shore was a better show.
I mean, it is a better show, but after episode 1, was it a better show?
Oh yeah,
I don't think
probably.
It's all in the marketing at that point.
Yeah, I think with this one, a lot of it was just the people, and like with the first episode, you do not like these people very much.
The show is all about the people.
Right.
This must have been horrible feedback after that first episode. Like, just no one watched it, and the people that did watch it, the feedback must have just been terrible.
You remember when we talked about it, right? Like, I mean, like, no one's like, these people are all a bunch of dummies. Like, what is going on? Like,
they're just assholes.
They're just like, they're mean, malicious, bunch of just very asshole-ish. Like, and like, as the show goes on, sure, you learn more about them and whatever. But like, I think the damage was done after episode 1.
I don't think they really redeemed themselves that much.
Not that much. It was, I mean, like, I feel like you come around on Mark and Taylor a bit, like, towards the end. I don't know.
The only people that I think that are really terrible is the J Bros.
Yeah, I mean, even J Brew, you come around, like, a
little bit. Not really, though.
Sheen's just kind of there. He's kind of useless.
Yeah.
And, like, that's the problem. Like, everyone's, like, not,
Sheen, I thought, was one of the best people on the show.
Really?
Yeah. I thought he was fun. He just didn't. He just wasn't on the show a lot.
He just wasn't super interesting
because he wasn't on the show. I don't know.
Right? Like he would just go along with whatever was happening. So like it was just like Didn't matter.
All right. I think
We've beat
we've
that one
talked. We're done with this show. It's
We're done.
gone.
Moving on. I've watched it. I
Moving
finished it.
on.
It's out of the way.
Wait, is this podcast still going?
It's the podcast within a podcast.
Whoa.
On
What else?
Harrison's Westworld season 2
breaking
premiere.
Westworld
We
down
definitely
right
don't
now.
need to spend
We're
time
not
on
breaking down.
Westworld.
I enjoyed the first episode. Really, I
Yeah.
thought it was really good.
I'm happy Westworld is back. Excited to see where they take it. We don't really need to get into it too much, but definitely excited to have it back.
I'm glad there's still some mystery.
Ooh.
Is the Man in Black a host?
Good question. Maybe
Or
we'll
not.
find out.
Really
Wait.
love that Will Smith song about the Man in Black, Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West.
Definitely their new theme song.
Here come the Man in Black.
All right, guys.
Wild Wild West.
You can find us on facebook.com/hoopofthesong. You can find us on Twitter @hoopofthesong. Please email us questions and suggestions at hoopofthesong@gmail.com. See you guys next time.